Today on page 121, we're going to take a look at an old friend who's been sitting on the shelf way too long. Star Frontiers by TSR from 1982. Kind of TSR's attempt to capitalize on the popularity of Traveler at the time, in my opinion. This is a fun little game. I had really enjoyed myself researching this video and remembering some of the games we had in Star Frontiers. I haven't played it in a long time, but if you're looking for freewheeling, hard-hitting, character-surviving game, this one's for you. So from 1982, from TSR, Star Frontiers on page 121. Star Frontiers from 1982. This was a neat little game from TSR. I think it came out largely in response to the success of Traveler. Traveler in 82 was pretty much the game everybody mentioned after D&D. They're two of my favorites at the time. And this was an interesting game. I'm going to go ahead and show the box and the box contents first, and then go in a little bit into the detail. This game was definitely made for younger players, in my opinion. 3 or more players, ages 10 and up. That's not to say it didn't get more sophisticated as it went on, because it did. It's simply that in the earliest version, this box is definitely written for younger, less experienced players. I'm only going to discuss Star Frontiers as pertains to this box. I'm not going to go into any of the other production items or anything. Those may be a future video. So, from Star Frontiers itself, $12 or $15. I don't remember how much I paid. This box saw a lot of love. There's the goodies you get inside. It would appear that I am missing the star map. Oh, I'm betting I have that in a module somewhere. Huh. Oh, no, it's the other side. Okay, I've got it. So basically, we're going to take a look at what you got inside here. So first off, and the chief reason for me thinking that this game was for younger kids is they had basic game rules. Basic game rules, by this point, well, they were still around, but it wasn't how most companies were introducing their games. So I think, again, they were trying to capture a younger market. The box says for ages 10 and up. So you're looking at the basic rules. You could go ahead into this little booklet and you could develop a character, but it'd be a very limited character because this is what you were starting out with. And then once you had the basic rules down, you then go ahead into the expanded game rules. These came in the same box. It was an interesting idea. It was kind of a way to get people who hadn't role-played before or were intimidated maybe by science fiction role-playing because, science is in there. Maybe it was a way to try to get them in. And if that was the case, it was an interesting way to do it. You start with the basic and then go to the expanded right there in the same box. The expanded rules do add new depths and new characters to it. I'm going to go into that in just a minute in the inside of the boxes. You got a coverless module, Star Crash on Volturnus, SF0, Star Frontiers 0. This was followed up by a couple other modules later on in the life of the game. You got encounters. As you can see, nature and time have punched mine a little bit, but these are little counters you can put down for your encounters. You got a nifty Starship Bridge Map to show what the ship would be, and then this is also sized for the counters. Coincidentally enough, this is the same size as Snapshot was at the time. Could you play Snapshot on this? Yeah, you could. I think they were going to try to cross-capture a little market there. And then we flip the other side. And there's the planet itself. So you got a lot in the box, you really did, and plenty to play. You could go ahead and run with this right as it was. I'm going to take a look now inside some of the actual gameplay. I'm not going to spend too much time on the module itself or the basic rules. I'm just going to go into the expanded game rules. So just 1 second. Okay, in the basic game rules, I guess I'll start in here. You can go ahead and you can make a character. Shows you everything you need to know about making the character, what is the game, what is Star Frontiers, etc. How you use the dice. Star Frontiers was based on D10 or D100. So you would need a couple of die 10 because a lot of this is percentages. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to create your character. And you create your character, and this was kind of interesting. The only time I ever remember seeing this in a role-playing game, and again, it could just be that I never caught it before, you would throw percentage dice on your ability score table. I'm going to zoom in a little on that. Okay. So you would throw percentage dice, and then if your percentage to roll was a 56, you would then cross-reference down, and that gave you a 50. So rather than just rolling percentages, you rolled percentages on a table that gave you base scores. That's pretty interesting. I really don't remember encountering that before. Your base scores in this game are strength and stamina. That was the other thing that was unique about this, is your base scores were the same. So strength and stamina were both what you rolled for it. So in this case, this character rolled for a 35 on each. The dex and reflex was 45. Intelligence and logic, 75. And perception and, I forget what the IND is. It's been a while since I've played, unfortunately. Intuition. Perception and leadership. That's intuition and logic. Basically, these stats were, you had 8 stats, but they were paired. So you only rolled 4 different stats for them. So that was in the basic game. Come back out now. Now, here is a little adventure. Here are some of your weapons, some of your equipment. So this is all the basic book brought you. What the advanced book did was it gave you more options for creating your character. So you created the character in the same way. You threw on the same chart, had the same statistics, but you could improve your characters a little bit. So I want to take a look. Yeah, okay. So we had the same chart, but you could then take some points off of any of the paired stats. So if I wanted to move some of my strength to my stamina, for instance, I could do that up to 10 points. So I could go ahead and I could take 10 off my strength and add it to my stamina. That was the big difference in the advanced game. But for a new gamer, it would be a big difference. And then how you improve your characters. You actually spend your experience points in this game to improve your stats, which is kind of neat. Champions was already around by this time. I don't know if they took it from that or not, but it's a similar thing. You would pay, and there's a formula based on if you have the base skills or not, how much you would pay for skills. You can improve your statistics, things like that. Here are the alien races you could be, or the character races you could be. I'm sorry, the Dralicites. You could be a human. Love the intestines there. You could be a Varusk, an insectoid creature, or a Yazarian with the ability to glide under proper conditions. And these, the Sathar, are your bad guys. These are the strange alien race that are out there causing problems, and they're your main opponent in this game. You get a bunch of skills, similar to Traveler, and they're based a lot on just different, military skills, technological skills. It's a more limited scope than Traveler. You have less skills, less options, but the game itself is built into a looser framework. You don't really have to worry about a lot of the detail you do in Traveler. Here's your medical skills. For a minor surgery can heal up to 20 points of damage. And you can also heal 10 points with first aid. Characters in here, your stamina score is your hit points. So if I have a 60 stamina, I've got 60 hit points. That's pretty durable. That's Gamma World level. And I think that was the appeal of the game. I remember that we enjoyed how durable these characters were. Especially, love Traveler, but a classic Traveler, original Traveler, characters are very fragile. Like in real life, you don't want to get shot. You get shot, you end up getting hurt. Who knew, right? And then we have movement in meters, expanded combat. This has surprise, your movement during combat. It's all based on percentages. You take your dexterity skill, say it's a 60, and I have 1 level with my gun, that adds 10%. I have a 70% chance to hit you, and you're behind a barricade, which takes away 20%. I have to roll 50% or lower on my percentage dice. If I hit you, then I apply damage. So pretty simplistic, but doesn't take away any of the fun. Here's your weapon table. Weapons do varying amounts of damage. The Electro Stunner can do 4 die 10, which is considerable, or it can just stun you. A frag grenade can do 8 die 10. I mean, you're going to get hurt. But that was what was fun about this game. And then we go into the vehicles. One thing that's interesting in here is they actually have kind of a baby monster manual in here. Here you go, sample creatures. So if you want to battle Megasaurus or a funnel worm, here's your stats. So this harkens back again to D&D, to Gamma World. So they didn't come far off their roots with a lot of this game, but that's okay. That's what this game was made for. We had a lot of fun playing this game. If we weren't in the mood to be dead serious with Traveler, you could kind of cut loose and let your hair down a little bit with this game. There's some robots and ammunition, archaic weapons, all kinds of goodies in here. So pretty much everything you would need. Now you would go space travel in this time. You would jump into the void and you'd zoom across in the void. And rather than bother anybody with how long you were in jump space, a la Traveler, you just had travel times. This included from boarding the vessel, shuttle up to the ship, ship in void, to destination, and back down. The number indicated number of days. Very simple. No real need to worry about a lot of detail. Again, intentional departure from games like Traveler. They wanted to make this simple. They wanted to make it fast-moving and fun. And it was. I did a game years ago where, for reasons, the group was in the void, trapped in the ship, and they had gotten word that there was a diplomat on board, but there was an assassin on board, ready to kill the diplomat. I described all the passengers, including an older couple that I actually named Thurston and Lovey Howell, and described as this rather ditzy, dithering older couple. And it turned out that the assassins were none other than the Howells. It was much more of a reveal in the day, but it did give rise to the phrase that still lands on my table periodically. It actually, about 2 weeks ago, one of my players said it, and that phrase is, the Howells must die. They went into a big firefight with Lovey and Thurston Howell, one of my more memorable Star Frontiers games. So as you can see, I did not run this too seriously. I ran it to be fun. And like Gamma World, this game is more if you play it to be fun than if you play it to be serious. I don't know that I've ever run a dead serious Gamma World game in my life. or Star Frontiers for that matter. So there you have it. Gives you a little fiction reference here on things you can read to add to your gaming enjoyment. Larry Niven's on there, Harry Harrison, The Death World, Robert Heinlein, Jack Vance. So if you're familiar with TSR products, you're familiar with them. So that's really all I had to say. Nice little index on the back. Whoops. Nice little index on the back cover. That's really all I had to say about Star Frontiers. I don't in any way, there's your character sheet, by the way. I don't in any way mean to knock it. I liked this game a great deal. And in fact, seeing it, I may have trotted out for a game or two. This was never one I did a long campaign in, but every once in a while, if we were doing a pickup game, the regular group couldn't make it for D&D or Traveler, I'd do a pickup game of Star Frontiers, and we'd have an absolute blast. So, if you have any comments or questions, please put them below. Any good Star Frontiers memories, go ahead and add them. And if you liked what you heard, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time on page 121.